Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another reading. I hope you are doing so well. So, today we're going to do a pick a card reading, and we're going to look into your next glow up and also what is changing in your life right now. So, we have the moon card with perception, we have the fourth house with home, and we have Chiron with heal. And I also just wanted to point out that my plant here is the nodding violet plant. And I actually got them quite a while ago, and they ended up getting attacked by by some wallabies that live out like near where I live. I had it on my back veranda, and I woke up in the morning one day and it had just been almost completely eaten, and it was just like hanging on to life. So this plant has come back from that experience, and it's doing well. It hasn't been flowering yet, but I just wanted to point it out in case some of you are kind of like, what happened to your plant? Oh my God. Yeah, I'm missing those beautiful purple flowers. Anyway, so go ahead and choose which group you feel drawn to, and then I'll see you for your reading. Hello, group 1, and welcome to your reading. Wow, okay. Hello, Nina, as well. Hello, group 1, and hello, Nina. I love it. All right, so Nina's chosen to bless your reading. So you chose the moon perception card, okay? So let's just push it over here and then you can see it a bit better. So what is changing in your life? What is glowing up in your life? What area of your life is glowing up? I feel like this is actually your self-image, but this is some kind of a key that is going to open the door to so many manifestations for you, okay? So what is changing in your life is like a new era of manifestation where manifestation is going to come to you and flow to you in a very different way, in a very different rhythm, with a very different energy. And I feel like this is going to be really a huge breakthrough for you, like a huge relief of tension and energy build up, because this is you living more in alignment with who you actually are with the moon card. Like you actually are meant to manifest in a different kind of way than what you've been experiencing. And I'm seeing that the block that spirit wants to point out to you has been around self-image. It's been around the way that you see yourself and how that can shape your identity and how that can shape, what you believe is possible for you, what you believe is possible for you to achieve, for you to have, for you to experience in your life, or what you believe that you are even worthy of experiencing in life. Are you good enough for this? Are you good enough for this level of success? All of these things are shaped by our self-image, and like we're all different in the way that our self-image has been shaped, but it's largely to do with our subconscious mind. And the moon talks about our subconscious mind. Okay, it talks about how things are shaped subconsciously as we are growing up, how we form these kind of core beliefs, or we form this kind of self-image of ourselves, of who we are. And sometimes we can also have to shed layers of this self-image because it might not actually be accurate to who you really are. I feel like maybe you might have even had labels put on you when you were younger, or maybe you were, I don't know, something about your identity, maybe you had a different culture or something to the place you grew up in, and everyone always knew you as being, someone who ate different food or had different customs or different religion. I don't know. There's something here about standing out or having labels put on you, like being told who you are in a way. Or maybe this happened more in a subtle way emotionally, like within your family system. Maybe it's like, oh, you need to always be the one that has everything together and is organized and looks after your younger siblings, or you need to be the one that, I don't know, there's some kind of like obligations or expectations put on you, or some kind of label or stereotypes. Some of you may have even experienced something as, horrible as like racism or something like this as well. So there's something healing here in your self-image where you're realizing like something that has been put onto you, like a role, a label, a stereotype, is not really who you are. And you're realizing the truth of who you are. So this self-image shift is coming more into alignment with who you really are. And that is going to change your manifestational abilities. That's going to change your results, like what you actually end up manifesting is going to be really different than what you have so far experienced. I feel like you've experienced actually quite a lot of resistance in terms of manifesting something because there was something that was out of place in your self-image, okay? Spirit really wants me to just break this down and like understand the self-image and how it's changing for you. Because I think that once you really like see how your self-image it's almost like a key, the self-image is like a key, and it unlocks different doorways. It unlocks different avenues of life for you. Because when your self-image aligns with the success that you are desiring in your life, then that is when manifestation can come in. That's when it can like fully just come in for you and manifest. And that's what I'm seeing is shifting in your life. That's what the glow up is that your self-image is aligning with what you desire. Your self-image is aligning with the person that you desire to be. You know how in law of attraction, they kind of talk about, you have to shift your identity and then your reality will shift around you. Have you ever heard of that kind of identity shifting, kind of reality shifting energy, energy work you can do? That's sort of what I'm getting here that you've been doing naturally, organically. You've been shifting your identity. And by that, what I mean is who you are and who you think you are and what you think you're capable of. That's what I feel like is your identity. It's like who you think you are and what you think you're capable of. What do you think that you are capable of in this life? That is your identity. And is your whole self on board with that? Or do you have parts of you that are not on board with that success and then maybe manifest as chaos in your life where there's blocks, there's resistance, there's delays, there's setbacks, because these are all opportunities for you to integrate and come into wholeness. All of these blocks or setbacks are all opportunities to integrate and come into wholeness so these manifestations can come in. Because you have incarnated into a situation where there are parts that have maybe been traumatized, or there are parts that have been put into boxes or labels, or you had to fill out certain identities or roles in your family system. Maybe you had to be super ultra responsible. Maybe you were parentified. Maybe you were, what's the opposite of parentified? When you are kind of treated infantilized. Maybe you're infantilized. There's certain things that you are having to shed where you're like, you know what, this is not who I really am. Or at least this is not the wholeness of who I am. At least this is not the wholeness of who I am. Okay, so there's something here about you are coming into wholeness. There have been parts of you that have been split off, or parts of your identity, like parts of who you are that weren't on board with your success in this lifetime. Parts of you were holding trauma that was like, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, or I don't know, something was holding on to certain identities, or it's like, I need to be the responsible one in my family. I can't, focus on myself. There might have been things from childhood that are still hung up. These identities and roles that we get ingrained in our subconscious mind can be, kind of self-fulfilling prophecies. Like if you have some kind of a role in your family, like I said, where you had to be super ultra responsible and you had to look after everyone and make sure everyone was okay or they were sober or something like this, then that might be a hard thing to shake. That can be all ingrained with trauma and hypervigilance and all these other patterns. So what I'm seeing is that you had to kind of like retrain your subconscious mind to a new environment, to a new role, to a new identity, to who you are and what you think you're capable of. Because I'm seeing, for example, if you had to be ultra responsible in your family growing up, then that is who you think you are and what you think you're capable of. It's sort of like there will be limitations there. You might not want to get a job, your dream job, because it's across the country in another place and you don't want to leave behind your, younger sister who's maybe got drug problems and you're the only one who can support her to be sober and things like this. There's something here where it's like it was complicated to sort out. It wasn't just straightforward and easy. Like there's something here where the identity was caught up in trauma. There was some kind of an identity. Yeah, maybe it's like an identity that was shaped based on trauma. That's what I'm trying to articulate here. It was an identity based on some kind of trauma, like some kind of a role that was traumatic. Like I said, if you had to be responsible for someone in your family who was maybe going through drug addiction. For some reason, that's just the example that I'm being shown, and how that really can just become your whole life, and your whole life focus. That is what you are. That's sort of like the role, or what you're here to do or accomplish, is to almost live your life to care for someone else. I feel like that might have been for some of you something that was really strong in your subconscious. Is like self-sacrifice or caring for others, putting others' needs before yourself. Okay, so there's been this huge healing that you've been going through. And I'm noticing that this card is number 19, the moon perception. But then the funny thing is that number 19 in the tarot is actually the sun card, which is sort of the opposite to the moon. So there's something within this moon card that feels very promising. It feels very bright, kind of like the sun card in the tarot. It feels very bright and promising, like there's abundance, there's good times ahead, there's more coming in for you. I feel like you've had to heal from something that was very complicated and something that was very challenging, like how to, leave a dysfunctional situation so that you could live out your true destiny and become your true self. I feel like part of your identity or something may have been tied into someone else, or in a caretaking role for somebody else, maybe for some of you, or this happened when you were younger and you may have even outgrown it, but that hypervigilance might stick around, and you might still be like, for example, if you, I'm just going to try and explain all the energy that I'm feeling. For example, if you had some kind of role where you were like really responsible, like I said, for a family member, maybe they had a sobriety journey or something, and you were really responsible for them. Even if they kind of like get clean and sober and like fix their life up, you might still be caught up in that trauma response of like, oh, I need to look out for this person. Are they safe? Are they okay? You might still have this hypervigilance, and then you might have that role where you just end up finding all these people that need your help, that need you to act out that in that same role, where you're like, oh, I'm overgiving and I'm self-sacrificing, and I've always got my phone on in case they need to call me, and are they okay? Are they sober? And always like looking out for someone else's needs in someone else's life. It's sort of like a role that you had in childhood, you got habituated into, and then you just like wouldn't, even if that family dynamic is done or it's changed or it's, rearranged itself, somehow you're still playing out that role subconsciously. You're still finding the same people to play that dance out with. You're still in that same role of like hypervigilance or hyper responsibility. For some reason, that's the energy that's really coming through today. I know it won't be for everyone. It's just an example because it could be quite different for you. But for example, it could be the opposite. If you were infantilized as a child, like if you were never allowed to do things for yourself, never taught responsibility, and everything was kind of done for you, and you always treated like a baby or something, then you might find it really hard to be independent and to know how to provide for yourself. And you might find yourself attracting relationships where you can be infantilized within them, or you don't have to do as much, or someone else takes responsibility for things. Or, you know what I'm trying to say is like we can get habituated into these roles that have kind of shaped us. And the thing is that Spirit's talking about how it's like in the mind and in the perception. It's like, who do you think you are? And what do you think you're capable of? That's what Spirit wants to ask you today. Who are you and what are you capable of? Because your perception will guarantee what the answer is to that question. Okay, your perception of yourself will guarantee what the answer is. If you're in a high vibrational state, if you're in an expanded perception where you're seeing the truth of all that is, you might give an answer of what you're really capable of, right? But if you're in a limited perception because of trauma-based identities, of roles that you feel like you have to fulfill in order for everything to be safe, in order for everything to be okay, then that's going to be your perception of what your life will be. Okay, so you're having this huge glow up in your perception of who you are, and you're realizing something about the role. I feel like some of you may have been doing some really legitimate healing lately about some kind of a role that you were placed into in your family system. Keep in mind that these roles are really interesting. It's something that I've really meditated on over the years, and keep in mind that these roles don't have to be as simple as, oh, you were parentified or you were infantilized or whatever. It can be something really complicated, even as much as your role in your family system was to be the rebel. It was to be the rebellious one. It was to always push against or break the rules or show that you don't have to conform or something. Maybe that was your role, and then you can't stop rebelling in life. And and maybe you're like rebelling against relationships you don't want to rebel against. And you're like, why can't I stop this role that I'm in relationships? That's what I'm trying to talk about. It's like some kind of a role that you'll place. And these family roles are really interesting because everyone will have one. And they're based on, like, I guess, what is needed at that time socially for a family system to be cohesive and to continue. And everything is based on what has come before. Like if you have a sibling who is really, really rebellious already and maybe, doing all these things, then you might come along and be the good one and kind of fill that role in the family where you're the goody two-shoes and you get all the good grades and you do all the extracurricular and you go to college and you get the stable job. And that's always your role. And then you're like, gosh, I need to be wild. I need to be free. I need to go my own path. I can't just live for my parents' approval, because these dynamics, like if one child is really rebellious, the other one might feel like there's almost this compulsion to fulfill kind of a balancing out effect, or vice versa. If you had an older sibling and they were perfect and everything, and maybe they were a golden child, maybe you were the black sheep and you rebelled and you had issues, and your parents were like, why can't you just be more like your sibling or something? And then maybe that's, again, a role that you find yourself in where you're like, why can't I just, achieve things? It's almost like you're rebelling against something that happened in the past. And it's like, you don't have to play out that role and kind of be like, it's sort of ingrained from trauma of like, why don't my parents love me? I need to play this role out to like prove that, I'm lovable no matter what, or to show them that they don't love me or whatever. Okay, so really intense energies, you guys, of stuff has been changing. So this is like the deepest kind of glow up you can go through, which is this internal shift where your identity shifts and who you are and what you think that you're capable of completely changes overnight. And you see yourself differently. You see what you're actually capable of. And you realize, like, wait a minute. Actually, I'm free. I'm free of something that was binding me, some kind of identity, some kind of a way of seeing like yourself or what you thought you had to do in life. Like, yeah, you were bound by something and you needed to break free of that role or that identity that you were placed into. Maybe it was overgiving, overcaring, always putting others' needs before yourself. But anyway, it was blocking you from the flow of love, and it was blocking you from your true self, because it was a distraction, an energetic distraction. Like it was a drain, an energetic drain, like always caretaking for other people's needs. Yeah, that's going to kind of distract you, right? You're not going to have much energy left over for yourself to really check in with yourself and see what you need. So I feel like there was some kind of a compulsion, and it might not have been easy to overcome this habituated way of being in the world. It might have been hypervigilance, like I said, or like not stepping into your power, always handing your power away to others because that was, you were the one that was the baby of the family or something. I don't know. Really consider this though, because it's something that is super interesting to consider. It's like, what role did you have in your family? And what role did your family need you to be? What did you need? And this might be different now as it was when you're growing up, but I'm really seeing to look at it. What was it like when you were growing up? Your childhood years, like what role did you have? Were you a little therapist? Were you the little baby? Were you the entertainer? Were you always trying to make everyone laugh? Were you always quiet? Did you try to not have any needs and be silent in your room and get out of everyone's way? Were you always the helper and help to clean up and get the groceries? Or, like what happened in terms of how it shaped like your role and how you function today? I think it will be something really fascinating for you to like really just, I guess, reflect on during this reading, because it's changing, okay? You're shedding it, you're letting it go. So you may have already been getting insights about this of like, oh, you know what, it's really unfair that I always had to be the one to, do the cleaning growing up because I was the female or something and my brother never had to do anything. And maybe that shaped your relationships where maybe there was, misogyny or something in your relationships all your life. And you're realizing this huge thing of like, but that was the role that I had in my family. So that's what I kept attracting. There's something like this where you're really realizing stuff. Whew, and it's huge. And keep in mind timing. Whenever I do readings, timing can be like in the past, present, or future. Like you might be realizing this right now. You may have already just been realizing this, or it may be something that's coming in for you. We're all at different points. But you're realizing this about your life and it's changing things. It's changing your results. It's changing your paradigm. Yeah, it's changing your paradigm. And by paradigm, I mean what you believe you can accomplish, what you believe you can receive. And when I say believe, I mean all of you, not just like in your mind thinking, yeah, I know that I could technically, be successful in this arena. It's like, no, but you got to believe in yourself. Do you know what I mean? That's the shift I'm feeling. It's like a belief in yourself. It's like all of you on board. Instead of, I'm seeing there was splits. There was like not a unity, a unified consciousness inside of you. And now there is. There's something that's unifying, and it's because it's healing. And you're letting go of false selves, like I said, that came from trauma, that came as a result of trauma of like, I just have to fill in the gap in my family, because that's sort of what happens. And it's interesting because it can shape us in ways that aren't really who we actually are, or what we are here to really experience. So I feel like you're really releasing limitation here. You're really releasing limitation in like a really big way. And you're coming more into the truth of who you are. With the 19 energy, I keep feeling abundance. So this could also be about money, because keep in mind, like with our self-image, this impacts the relationships we attract in. This impacts the kind of money that we are allowing ourselves to attract and make in our life. This is, really like it sort of comes from inside. Like I'm seeing something clicking where there's a wholeness, where instead of like part of you being like, yes, I want to be successful, and then part of you being like, no, I'm not good enough, or I have to put other people's needs before myself, so I don't have enough time to be successful, whatever kind of block it was, that thing is like dissolving and you're coming into a wholeness. It's like an integration of that trauma experience where it's like, oh, I have to be this way to survive or to help others. Then it's been slowly coming down. That stress response has been coming down. You've been integrating in, like Nina's sleeping through your reading. It's like there's something that's coming into wholeness. Yeah, and I just realized that's really that's really nice actually, because the moon card perception, right, is also like the sleep. It's like the subconscious, the dream state. Okay, now you can. Oh, sorry, Nina, did I wake you up? Okay, so hi. Yes, that's right. Okay, so yeah, so your glow up is really happening in terms of your perception of who you are and what you believe you're capable of. And your perception of what you believe you're capable of, even if consciously you're like, yeah, I think I'm capable of this. This is like a whole body, like being behind, like every part of you being behind something to manifest. And that's when something can really come in for you. It's like when all of you is kind of on board with this, there's enough of a unified energy. And we don't have to be perfect for this to happen, by the way. Keep that in mind. Like, we don't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? You don't have to be perfect for things to manifest. But you're reaching some kind of a critical threshold where there's been enough change, there's been enough integration, there's been enough healing that you're ready now to shift. It's like an identity shift where you shift and you identify as someone who's way more successful, who's way more abundant, who's way more healthy and things flow easier, this kind of thing. Yeah. Oh, Tina. Yeah. So yeah, I just feel like keep in mind, keep in mind something to do with dreams and like the way that dreams speak to us more like symbolically, because I'm feeling like there might be something there that will be shown to you in your dreams. Like, sometimes dreams speak to us in funny ways, and keep that in mind. Spirit wants you to know we can't really, I mean, sometimes dreams are black and white and they're really straightforward. And it's like, oh yeah, that dream obviously meant this thing. But sometimes they're far more kind of mysterious and ambiguous. And sometimes we have to sit with something and then realize, like, oh my gosh, of course, that's what that was saying, or that's what this is kind of representing for me. So I'm seeing something where you might have some dreams where the symbology is kind of layered, or you might have spirit speaking to you in kind of symbols right now. And so spirit's sort of like giving you permission to really go there with the symbolic language of the universe and with reading the signs, because I feel like some of you guys might hold yourself back a bit and be like, oh, surely that doesn't mean anything. Like, no, I don't know. It's not really a big deal that I saw this thing. Spirit's like, get excited about the signs, okay? Get excited about the synchronicities and the symbols and the language of the universe as it's speaking to you, because I feel like there's something where spirit almost wants you to speak more with that. Like, spirit wants to talk to you more throughout life. Like, there's something where maybe you hold yourself back. Like, sometimes you recognize the symbol and you're like, oh, this thing means this, but you don't fully let yourself go there. And spirit wants you to like let yourself go there fully. Go full on like woo woo. You know what I'm saying? How people, I mean, woo is kind of a mean term, isn't it? But you know what I'm trying to say? Go full on woo woo. Go there. Go spiritual. Read the language of the universe, because the spiritual signs are very meaningful around you at this time. So don't diminish them or minimize them, basically, is what I'm seeing. Okay, group number 1, that is your reading for today about your glow up. It was a very interesting one, and I do hope that it served you. If you would like to go deeper with my work, I would really recommend the Dreamtime Ancestral Clearing for you. Okay, it's a light language track that is looped for an hour, and you listen to it as a sleep tape. And it's one of the most potent and powerful light language transmissions I actually have on my store. When I listened back to it, oh my God, I was like, okay, wow. I did not realize quite at the time just how potent these light codes are, but they are very strong. And they really work to help with the ancestral karmic patterning and the subconscious ingraining that I was really talking about. It can really help with the thing that I was talking about, with how we can fall into roles and patterns within our family system that might not be our authentic self. And we have to do work to heal and like reprogram any trauma responses or trauma-based identities, such as hypervigilance and these kinds of things. Okay, I will link it down below. Go check it out. If you already have it, I definitely recommend listening to it, and listen to it as a sleep tape as well, you guys. Sleep tapes are so transformational and they are so powerful. I also recommend listening to my light language just in the background during the day or as you're working. You can play it really low so you can hardly hear it if you find it distracting or you don't like it, like you don't like having some sound while you work. You can even have headphones and listen to music and just have it on in your room, because it will help to shift and clear energy, okay? It's so powerful. It's so amazing. All right. I'm sending you guys so much love and light. Take care. Hello, group 2. So you chose the 4th house with home. So you are manifesting a new home. I feel like many of you, this is a new home, like an actually new residence, a new place to live, a new a lot of you, this could be also like a lifestyle change, like a sea change. You might move to the ocean or into nature, or you might be moving in a considerable distance from where you currently live. Something like this, it could be quite a big change. See how there's a new moon on this card? I feel like this is symbolizing like a new home or a new home experience. Obviously, some of you may be very settled and happy where you are. So this wouldn't be about a new home, but more like a new experience of your existing home. Maybe you're feeling inspired to redecorate, to move furniture around in your house, to work on the garden, to, I don't know, renovate, build a deck, have a different lifestyle shift within your current living situation. Some of you, this is about clearing out clutter. Like I'm seeing people moving house and then having to, sort out like, what do I want to keep? What do I not want to keep? And somehow this is actually glowing you up because I'm seeing that this is shifting things in your inner world. The fourth house in astrology actually talks about our inner world as well. Like our innermost world that really only we can know fully and truly. I'm feeling like you're clearing out clutter. There's a clearing out of clutter energy in your inner world, but it is also going to be mirrored somehow in your external reality. Like, because of course, when you move house, you kind of find all these things that you didn't realize you had. Maybe you donate a lot of things to charity shops. Maybe you're throwing things away. There's something here where you're moving energy around in your home, and this is signifying moving energy around in your inner world and making space for the new. I keep feeling this, like, what do we do when we declutter? It's sort of like we refresh the energy of our space. We feel clear, like, nice, Okay, so let's get some astro dice for you. So this next glow up for group 2, what do you want them to know, Spirit? Their next glow up. Oh, hi, Nina. We have the 6th house. Hello, hello, hello. We have the 6th house, we have Saturn, and we have Taurus. Yeah, so with the Taurus energy, got a Taurus full moon coming up, sorry. So this could be happening like, oh, what? This is the 9th house, you guys. I'm so sorry. Actually, the 9th house makes so much more sense in terms of movement and travel and things like this. That's right, the 9th house, Nina. Yeah, the 9th house, because the 9th house in astrology can talk about like overseas trips and kind of travel and expanding your horizons. It's really about expansion and like change, and it can be about travel as well as learning and, yeah, like researching lessons, studying things. Yeah, okay, so you might be moving and it's going to really change your horizons or change your environment, like quite a lot. Nina's upset because she wants her lunch early, and we can't do that, Nina, because then you want everything early and then we lose our routine, don't we? And then you get upset that you don't have a routine. So anyway, we have the Saturn energy here as well, which is really interesting for your next glow up because because this is something that I feel like it might have been hard earned, okay? This kind of a glow up might have been hard earned, Nina. It might have been hard earned. Like, she's playing with the Saturn dice now. Okay, she's like totally taking it under the desk. All right, so I'm just gonna have to try and stay focused on your reading, okay? So the Saturn energy is hard earned success. Like, this may have been something that maybe your home situation hasn't been very fulfilling for a while, or maybe you've been really working to renovate your home or change your home in some way, or you've really had a goal, like a vision. You're like, this is my dream home. This is my dream situation, my dream manifestation, having land, having a garden, off grid. For some of you, maybe you want to build your own home. For some of you, that might be a dream. You want to build your own home. Or I'm seeing greenhouses. I'm seeing greenhouses as well. I'm really seeing like the Aquarian age here in this home energy though for you. Like, I really want to explore this home energy because it feels really significant, okay? The home energy here with the Aquarian age is like very alternative options to housing, like the Aquarian age is really about unity, and it's about being one with the earth as well, like living in a way that is not harmful to the earth, that is actually like regenerative to the earth, so that we can give back to the energy around us. Some of you may even want to have like an animal sanctuary or do some kind of regeneration of native land around where you live. There may be something there where I'm just seeing that somehow you're going to be like put into a situation where the world around you will be better because you are here. Maybe, like, obviously, this is also true if you're in a city environment as well, because the energy that you are emitting around you and the way you're living your life. Like, say you are moving to an apartment building, but it's like, the one you want, it's the house you want, and you're in this apartment building. Well, you are going to bring light and love to everyone in that apartment building just by you being there and doing your daily work and doing your daily business there. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm seeing is like you're going to be situated in a position in the world, on some kind of a spot in the world that spirit is like moving you to next. You know, a lot of you guys, I'm just getting about moving house, so I just have to bring these messages through. But I'm seeing that you are being relocated to a place that is much better suited for your energy and your energetics. And you really need this relocation, okay, for the next part of your destiny. There's like a new era, a new phase in your life. And this is why it's such a glow up, because it's a glow up for your lifestyle. Like your lifestyle is going to change in this new environment, in this new home that you're in. It's going to completely shift your lifestyle and like kind of the way you're living. I feel like you're going to be living a lot more in harmony with like your beliefs with the ninth house. It's like, what are your beliefs? And then Taurus would be things like, natural gardening or organic food or growing your own stuff, or I don't know, living in communities, living intentionally, building your own home, having these experiences that I feel like you really want to have and finally feeling like they're actually manifesting around you. But for those of you who are already like living in your place, you found your place, I feel like that spirit's already done this for you. You're already in that place that I'm talking about, that is the most perfect place for you, where you can be of service energetically, where you just living your life is actually fulfilling some part of your mission energetically, like by the energy that you're emitting because of the exact position that you're being put into. I just tried to find the Saturn dice for you so that we could have all 3 dice here in your spread. And it's like all the way under this piece of furniture that's going to take me like quite a while to get out. So I'm not going to interrupt the flow. But I just think that's also really funny because Nina was hitting that dice that has Saturn on it, and she's like rebelling against the structure of having to wait to have her lunch at the appropriate time, even though she wants it an hour early. She wants it an hour early, like at least once a day. She wants one of her meals early. Anyway, it's just so funny because Saturn's the energy of like structure. It's like, no, we have to stick to our routine. Otherwise things go crazy and it's chaotic. And then anyway, so Saturn has left, okay? We're not dealing with Saturn anymore. And I feel like that as well is symbolic of the message coming through for your spread, which is like something that has been held back is leaving your life. The Saturn energy holds things back. It's restriction. So that energy is leaving your life. And here you are. You're going to instead have the manifestation of something. This manifestation of an environment, a situation, it's like home is like your environment, your lifestyle. This is all coming far more into alignment with the truth of who you are. So the glow up is something to do with your lifestyle, your actual living environment for some of you, and also living more in alignment with your beliefs and what you really want from life with the ninth house and Taurus. It's like, what do you really want? What really do you want from life? Like, what are your goals? Do you want to build your own home? Do you want to grow your own food? Do you want to live in New York City? Do you want to, what are your goals? What's your dream? What's the thing that you just really want to do? And that would make you feel like, wow, I'm actually living life. I'm actually doing it, instead of feeling like your dreams are kind of on hold. And that's the energy with Saturn, is that sometimes Saturn can come in, it's like as an influence, it can make you feel like, man, like my dreams on hold. It just feels like I'm always, waiting in this prep, or it's restricted, delayed. Well, Nina has taken that energy away for you, okay? So that is that is left. There's something that has been, like restricted, and it's being taken. That restriction is leaving. That restriction is being lifted. And you're going to be like, yes, finally, I'm living in alignment with my beliefs, what I really believe, what I really want from life, For some of you, this is also very new earth energy. Remember, I was getting Aquarius energy? That's the same thing as new earth energy. It's like, as in the Aquarian age, is the same kind of energy as the new earth energy. There's something here about you are living more in alignment with what you have really, really, really come here to do. And that's going to be feeling so good, because you're going to feel like, finally, I've found home. This is what your glow up is about. This is what's changing in your life, is like some area of your life you may not have felt at home in. There may have been for some of you, this is maybe you didn't feel at home in your actual physical body with the Taurus energy as well. Like maybe you didn't feel at home in your physical body, and this is your physical health changing as well, especially to do with if your health is in any way impacted by your home right now or by your lifestyle in any way. I'm seeing that improving. I'm seeing a lot of vitality and health coming through. yeah, really strong vitality and health. This could be the end of health issues for some of you, or like chronic fatigue issues, things like this. I'm seeing some of you getting your energy back. The new moon here is so promising on this card because it's about the new beginning, having a really new environment around you, a new lifestyle. If you guys aren't moving house, I actually recommend you might consider moving some furniture around, maybe like, changing up the decoration or just putting a little bit of energy into your home at this time. If you don't feel inspired to, then obviously listen to your own intuition. But if that does, if you kind of have been maybe thinking about it, or you've been like, I really want to clear out those cupboards, or I really want to, whatever, put some energy into the garden again. I'm just seeing that doing that could actually really help like rejuvenate your inner world and help sort of, I don't know, clearing out energy inside of you and help to make you feel really like refreshed and taken care of and looked after. It's sort of like, yeah, kind of like a life hack. It's like you can focus on your actual home and it's going to help your inner world, just like you can focus on your inner world and it's going to help your actual home. There's sort of like some kind of interconnected energy here. So, yeah, focusing on your home, redecorating, moving things around, I don't know, pruning some trees or like whatever it's time for, those kind of tasks of like different seasons call for different things in the garden or in the home. I'm just seeing this, there might be something like this, or some of you might be getting out Christmas decorations actually as well. And maybe that's what it is. Decorating your home is going to feel really nice and festive, really cozy. Some of you, this new home, it might be coming in in a longer period of time, like 2 to 4 months, 6 months for some of you. Like the move might not be happening immediately, but this is what's manifesting and this is what's your next glow up, is this glow up of your home environment, of the environment that you're finding yourself in every day and what you're building around you. So let's get some more information about this glow up. I'm just going to keep pulling from the Star Codes Astro Oracle, okay? So, Spirit, what do you want Brood 2 to know about their glow up? What is changing in their life? What is changing in their life? Wow, Neptune vision. Yes, wow, 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 wow. You're manifesting the actual thing that you are wanting to manifest. Like you're manifesting the vision that you have for your life. Look at that. We have Taurus energy again. I'm pulling that because I'm feeling that Taurus energy is really coming through with some wisdom. And a lot of you are moving into nature, okay? A lot of you are having something to do with the earth, cultivating land, regenerating land. Maybe some of you adopting animals or having a native wildlife sanctuary, or I don't know, having a farm animal sanctuary. Like you're going to have some kind of a situation for a lot of you. And it really aligns with your beliefs, Okay. Alrighty. So let's get a couple more cards for you. Oh my gosh, yes! Uranus change. And that is the exact energy I was feeling with that Saturn card, that Saturn energy being taken off. That Saturn energy was taken off your spread. Okay? Look, change. Things are changing. Oh, and your vision is finally coming into form as well. Your vision into form with the Taurus energy. Yes, your beliefs are coming into form. How you believe, like what you believe is the right way to live life, Kind of like I'm getting a lot of ethical energy here. Like maybe some of you are really passionate about the environment, passionate about animals, passionate about native animals or native plant, regeneration or pollution or something, or growing organic food or living off grid or having community life, living with others in a more communal kind of way, more back into like the way that maybe humans are more socially designed to live, like in small communities, things like this. I don't know. There's something here in your beliefs, your vision for the world, your vision for New Earth, how you see the world, how you see New Earth, what you want to achieve, what you want to experience, that's finally coming into form. And I am feeling finally, okay, because some of you guys may have been holding this vision for like a decade or something, where you've really wanted to create something. And now I'm seeing it's coming in. All right, let's get one more. We have mystery with the 8th house. Interesting. That mystery card is actually making me feel like magic. Like the way that something might be about to manifest for you could be kind of magical, or it could sort of take you by surprise. Like all of these threads all of a sudden weave together and you've manifested something different for yourself, or you have some kind of an opportunity or a change in circumstances. Like maybe for some of you with the change, this could even be a change in your financial circumstances where it's like, oh, now I can actually afford to put my dreams into action to like buy the land that I want to buy or move to New York City or whatever your kind of dream is. We're all different and we all have different, goals. But there's something here about, maybe money changing what is available to you in terms of your home or in terms of your environment or your lifestyle, okay? Maybe how you take care of yourself. You can afford to, I don't know, book in to see more professionals or to see more alternative health practitioners, or I don't know, invest in some kind of thing about yourself. But for with the Taurus energy, this does feel very practical. This is like physical health glow up with your physical health and your body. Okay, for some of you, this is physical health and physical body and fitness and vitality. And it maybe as well as like a manifesting actually your dream appearance as well as coming through with the Taurus energy. It's like, how do you want to feel in your body? Do you want to feel really fit? Do you want to be really flexible? Do you want to feel, comfortable? There's something here about maybe the dimensions of your body changing, like there's something, yeah, maybe growing or shrinking. I don't know. Something here about your physical appearance changing, or you getting fitter or growing muscle or something. And I feel like it's going to really, feel right. It's going to feel like a lot more comfortable, like things are more in alignment. Like you're like, oh, this feels better. I feel more healthy. I feel more strong. I feel more, like I can kind of, Some of you might be really building muscle, actually, is what I'm seeing. You might be really wanting to like get fit or build muscle or tone up or lose weight or something like this. And I'm seeing that that is part of what your next glow up is actually, is that your physical appearance will change. Yeah, the Neptune vision, it's like the way you look is going to change. And it's somehow also incorporated into like the way that you are desiring to look. Like you have had a vision for the way you want to look or your appearance goals or something like this. You actually might want to check out my Beauty Star tape, okay? Because that's my light language tape that really helps with our appearance goals, and also to like really exit the matrix in terms of fear of aging or any kind of limiting ideas around beauty and things like this. You might want to check it out, Beauty Star. I'll link it down below. You can read more about it. But I'm just really feeling this energy. Like you definitely, of all the groups, like probably today, I feel like you're probably going to be the one that's most to do with actually the physical appearance, even though it took a little bit of time to get there. But yeah, physical appearance is actually a huge part of your next glow up, is actually the way you look, and especially your physical body, and to do with health, like weight loss, weight gain, muscle gain, toning, and the way that you physically, appear in the world, being more in alignment with the way you want to appear, okay? And then that feeling really good, feeling really comfortable, feeling really at home in your body, feeling really like maybe you've come to peace with something about the way you look. You're feeling really good about the way you look. You are like accepting your beauty, accepting your unique appearance, and realizing that you're absolutely perfect the way you are, kind of thing. Yeah, I'm feeling like a lot of happiness. You're realizing as well maybe the reason you chose your avatar in the first place. Like you're really seeing the beauty of yourself. I really feel like work with Beauty Star, okay? I feel like it would really help with this because, there's something about you're seeing the true beauty of your avatar and like why you chose it at a spiritual level. Like spiritually, you're seeing your beauty, who you are, and you're realizing like, wow, this is exactly like I can see exactly who I am and why I chose this physical appearance. And there's something about your physical appearance is going to be changing because when we have trauma, when we have shame, when we have fear, when we have different things, they all alter our physical appearance, okay? It's like classic thing if someone's going through a really stressful time, maybe they lose a bunch of weight and you can see the stress in their face, they look all like hollowed out somehow. It's like really sapped them of their energy. Or even like I notice for myself, if I'm going through different things, sometimes my face gets like really puffy and it's almost like the trauma is like in my face, distorting my appearance. Okay, I really have that shapeshifter energy. A lot of you guys have already noticed that when I'm on camera, is like my appearance just changes so much. But anyway, so I'm seeing your appearance is going to be changing. Yeah, like you're shape-shifting, okay? You're going to be a shapeshifter. People might actually say this to you like, wow, your appearance changed so drastically or so much that like, how is that possible? And the reason that it's possible is because you're also healing emotionally. Like I said, the emotions show up in the body. When we are stressed, we might look more drained or hollowed out. When we are ashamed, we might be more puffy or our face looks all distorted. If we're dealing with relationship dramas, then, I don't know, it could show up in all kinds of ways, but I'm seeing it's been showing up in your physical appearance. And you need to know that because it's also giving you more awareness of how much your spiritual energy like actually impacts physical life, okay? I think sometimes you don't realize how powerful you are. Yeah, eighth house mystery. You don't realize how powerful you are, and your spiritual energy actually impacts your physical appearance. It impacts your physical manifestations, all these things. So yeah, the glow up's actually happening in your body, okay? That's really exciting. It's happening in your body, I also heard finances for some of you as well with that Taurus energy. Some of you really need to know that the financial situation is already changing. Okay, because I'm just seeing you really being pushed in the direction of your dreams and your destiny at this time. You really are. You're being pushed in the direction of your dreams and destiny. And that's what Spirit wants you to know. Like, your dreams and destiny is unfolding rapidly. Uranus is one of my favorite cards from this astrology deck. And the reason is because it brings through much needed change in our life. Sometimes things get stagnant and stuck. And you know, when you're just gasping for change, like you're like gasping for air or something, you're like, I need change, like I need oxygen, like I need it. There's something like this that is in one area of your life. It's just been time. It's just been time. Okay. For some of you, it's like, it's just really time for you to move and to relocate. For some of you, it's really time for this health block to be resolved or for your appearance goals to finally come in. There's something where it's like, it's just time and it's been a long time in the coming, okay, in the making. But it's going to be very sweet when it comes in, all right? That Saturn energy has been taken away. I just love that. I love how Nina interacted with your reading. She's very psychic herself, as many of you can tell. Yeah, that Saturn energy is no longer there. And that Uranus energy instead is taking its place. And Uranus is like, let's change things up. Let's catapult you into a new reality. Like, that's what I'm seeing. It's almost like you're being taken and transplanted to a new home. Like, Spirit saying, oh, the soil conditions aren't as good here. You know, the sunlight, you're not getting enough sunlight. Like, let's move you to a better position where you can grow better. You can have better soil quality. You can have better sunlight. It's better, you know, better conditions for your growth. And you're going to thrive in this new environment. That's what I'm seeing. You're going to thrive in a new place, in a new environment. Or it might be an inner shift, okay? If some of you are like, I'm totally set to be where I am, you know, forever kind of thing. That's all good. Then it might just be an inner shift where the change is happening inside of self, okay? Because fourth house ultimately is our inner world, right? So for some of you, this could be a very inner shift that's taking place. Yeah, with the eighth house, actually, the eighth house talks about like our limiting beliefs, things like this, that we might hold ourselves back with. So there could be a shift happening where it's like you're feeling more at home in yourself, in your inner world, where it's just like life is just feeling better. You're feeling more cohesive, like within the self. There's more wholeness within you. You're feeling more at home in your body, within your life as it is. Yeah. All right. Group number 2. That's really all we have time for, but I so enjoyed tuning with your energy. You have a really beautiful energy and it looks like such beautiful glow ups occurring for you in the physical and material reality around you. Things really changing in the physical and material reality around you. Big time. Like, you really are going to notice this glow up and other people are going to notice it as well. It's not going to be like a little subtle shift. It's going to be like, wow, you are a shapeshifter. You have transformed. Your life looks completely different to me now and you look completely different to me now. Okay, so it's big glow up energies. Yay. Like I said, if you want to check out more of my work, I definitely recommend the Beauty Star light language tape. It also has an affirmation tape with light language that comes with it that you can listen to as a sleep tape. I'll link it down below. You can read more about it. I'm sending you so much love and light. I'll see you in another video soon, okay? Bye. Hello, Group 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose Chiron and Heal for your next glow up. So your next glow up is going to be healing. It's going to be healing something. I feel like this is a holistic healing. You're going to be experiencing healing emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally, kind of on every level or in every area of your life. It's a very wholesome energy that I'm picking up on, a very holistic energy. You know, like maybe you're doing a very holistic approach to healing, okay? So Chiron is the archetype of the wounded healer in astrology, okay? This is someone who is healing and is sort of an expert at healing because they have had to heal themselves. They have been wounded in some way. So I feel like there's some kind of a wound here, like a wound. Like the Chiron is sort of like the most painful part of our life, you know, the most painful life area that we experience in a lifetime. It's like but it's also the place where we have the biggest transformation or the biggest source of our power comes from healing our pain or healing our deepest fears, this kind of thing. So there's some kind of a deep wound that is being healed. You've been healing yourself, okay? You've been maybe facing something. You've been having to face up to something or bring something into the light. I'm seeing something like this. Maybe you've been illuminating things in your life. But I feel like there's this confidence coming through where you're moving from a place where maybe you've been feeling more vulnerable and you're going to be coming more into a place of confidence and power. So the healing glow up in your life, let us get a little bit more information, okay? I think I'm going to continue pulling from this Star Codes Astro Oracle and let's get some information. Group 3 Spirit, what can you tell us about what's changing in their life? Group 3 Spirit, what is changing in their life? Tension. Okay, yeah, the tension of the pain, like a wound is like, I'm literally seeing a wound healing, okay? And that tension, the pain of it, being released. Or if you pull a muscle or something, there's like tension, there's pain. If you put pressure on something, if you've broken or strained your ankle and then you try to walk on it, it's like tense, it hurts, it's painful. That's the energy here that's been healing, is something that has almost been like a soul level wound. Again, keep in mind, you could have been experiencing this in every level: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual kind of healing. This is really powerful energy that you're in right now. Like, you are a really powerful healer. I feel like you need to know that. And I feel like as well, Spirit wants you to know a message that you're actually a really good healer and you can heal yourself. Like, you can take more leadership and independence. Sometimes we definitely need support. And I definitely think that we will always, at different points in our path, require other people to help us with our healing journey. And that's just part of being humans the way we're wired. But we are also our own greatest healers, okay? And there's something here about maybe you might be thinking that you need to be able to, I don't know, spend money to afford to see a therapist or some kind of a healer in order to be able to overcome something. And Spirit's saying, actually, you can do this yourself without having to, spend money or do really anything. It's some kind of an inner shift, like bringing your own attention to yourself, doing something, even researching something if you feel called to, some kind of a technique. You can really guide your own healing journey in such a powerful way. And the stuff that you've already been doing with your healing has already been working so well. I feel like Spirit really wants you to know that, because sometimes I think you can underestimate just the actual impact that you're having. Okay, so we have past here with the South Node as well. Really interesting. Let's get a little bit more information here. Spirit, Group 3's glow up. What can you tell us about their glow up? Okay, so we have Gemini, cross-pollinate, and we'll get one more here. Juno and partnership. Wow, okay. Wow, on the back of the deck, we have the North Node with future. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this for you because it feels really incredible. Okay. And then I'm going to put the actual back of the deck now, which is solar calm, clarify, which I feel like is very beautiful for how you are glowing up. So I'm going to describe the energy that I'm picking up on in terms of what you are healing and how this is leading to a glow up. I'm seeing that you're moving from a place where something was very painful, something with the past, the South Node, something you experienced in the past, something you were born into, circumstances you were born into, karmic patterns, ancestry, intergenerational trauma and karma, past life energy. All of these things can be very dense, okay? It can be very dense on earth, can be very, intense. So you have been really tending to a wound that has been needing to heal, and it's been painful, and it can be hard to tend to wounds, sometimes it's hard to put the antiseptic or something, right, on that wound, and it will sting and it will burn a bit, but it will help it to heal. So you've been really putting the attention in the right places, like putting pressure on something to stop it from bleeding. Like you've been, I don't know, I'm seeing you doing really caring for yourself. Some of you, there may have actually been physical manifestations of this. Like, I really love looking into the meaning when we have physical symptoms. I always get psychic downloads and insights about this. So I definitely encourage you to do that. Keep in mind as well, when we're talking about South Node energy, that can be talking about family of origin, imprinting, bloodlines. So keep in mind the left side of the body is connected to your mother and the right side of the body is connected to your father. So it could be connected to bloodlines. It could be connected to your own past life. But there's been physical stuff. I think there's been physical symptoms. It could be even breaking an ankle, right? That's a huge sort of thing that you could unpack. What does this mean? What's it about? So this healing work has been happening. You've been doing it. And I'm like, wow, this is really powerful. But it feels like the healing, what it's doing is it's putting you into your power. You've been moving from some kind of vulnerability to being really in your power again. And just like if you have a wound, right? If you have a wound, you feel kind of vulnerable. You're kind of protective of that wound. You don't want people to accidentally, re-injure you or fall on you or trip you over or something. Sometimes you're feeling kind of vulnerable if you've been injured or you have something that you're healing, you know. This is the sort of energy that I'm feeling with Chiron. It's like, it's really painful. It's like something that's really painful that you kind of feel quite vulnerable about. It's like, oh, I don't want anyone else to, maybe even I don't want anyone else to see this. I just heard, I don't want anyone else to see this wound. Sometimes Chiron can talk about things we feel shame about, like, ooh, this is really deep, painful stuff, right? So, wow, you've been going there in ways that I feel like takes a champion. Like, that's what Spirit's saying with the North Node. You have been carving out your destiny in a way that is so whew, commendable and admirable because you've been facing things that need to heal, but you've been doing the right thing. Like if you sprain your ankle, you're supposed to put ice on it and you're supposed to elevate it or something. It's like you've been doing all the steps that you need to take to help your pain points, to help the things that need to heal. You've been helping yourself to heal to such a degree that I'm just seeing huge glowing up change happening now, but you're leaving the past behind. The North Node and the South Node coming up together. This is huge destiny, and this is also a balanced energy, okay? Because with the North Node and the South Node, it's not really that we want to just like neglect the South Node and only focus on the North Node. We actually really want to integrate both of them in balance with one another. And that's at least my understanding of them and how I work with them, is that we want the South Node because it also includes things from our past life, like wisdom, things that we are innately good at, innate talents and gifts and skills that we have, and patterns and soul contracts that we may have played out for a long time. These things are valuable and are really important and shape who we are and shape our current life journey and trajectory. And we need to know, we need to look to the past to look to the future, right? We need to know where we have come from to see where we're going. To understand the full story, we need to go to the beginning. That's the kind of energy of the South Node. But I'm seeing liberation energy in your spread because the North Node is here to liberate aspects of the South Node that can keep us feeling stuck, in karmic patterns and cycles that feel like they have no end, that feel like, am I really healing this? Am I really evolving, or am I just continuously feeling pain? that side of Earth when you're experiencing one of those cycles and you're like, am I even making progress? So that could be the Chiron kind of energy. It's like Chiron literally talks about the most painful point. Okay. Imagine like the most painful thing, like most painful wound, right? The core kind of wounds that really come from, with that South Node, that come from early childhood conditioning. And early childhood conditioning will also mirror the themes and intentions that your soul has for this lifetime of what you are trying to heal and overcome. Okay, so I'm actually feeling quite a strong throat chakra energy in your spread now with this Gemini here, cross-pollinate. I feel like one part of what you are liberating is actually your voice. You are freeing your voice, okay, with this healing. Wow, this feels like I've got chills here. You're freeing your voice and you're liberating your voice, your ability to communicate, to shine, to sing. For some of you, this is about sound healing, singing, and channeling. This could be about your voice to do with healing from, some of you may have had a vow of silence in your past life, okay? When I studied the Akashic Records back in 2020, I did the Andrea Hess Soul Realignment Akashic Record course, okay? Some of you know this already, but that's the one that I studied. And when I did that course, I did my own reading of my own Akashic Records, and I found out that I had a vow of silence in my past life, okay? So I have things to do with my voice in this lifetime, with reclaiming my voice. And I'm feeling this energy coming up really strongly in this reading, and I'm feeling like you might actually want to check out my Akashic Records Clearing package that I have on my store. I'll link it down below. But it's really helpful because it has a ritual that you yourself read out every single day, and it helps to clear Akashic sort of density, things like karmic patterns, things that you are trying to heal. It could really help liberate you if you resonate just for things like vows and contracts that may be like really embedded in the past. Sometimes we have to kind of liberate ourselves in our present life. And this is really why I love the Akashic Records and kind of understanding all of this, from many different perspectives. So anyway, you can read more about it. I'll link it down below and see if it might be right for you. So I'm seeing something here about freeing your voice and finding your voice again after maybe a period of time. Because like I said, when you're healing, you might feel more vulnerable. I'm feeling like you're coming from a time where you've been feeling vulnerable, like you've been needing to protect it. Like imagine if you've just broken your ankle or something. For some reason, I keep hearing broken ankle. So maybe some of you guys actually had something to do with your ankles or something. Anyway, and I'm pretty sure ankles are to do with freedom and like stepping out on your own, stepping into your own kind of independence and things like that. So if we have issues with ankles, it could be about that, for example. And like hips as well, I think is about freedom or something like that. So maybe I'm confusing them both. Maybe they're both connected. Anyway, I love looking into those kinds of like symbolism of the different parts of the body. Yeah, so imagine if you have like a sprained ankle, a broken ankle. Well, you're not going to walk on it. And maybe you have some like dogs, I don't know, playing around your feet. You're going to kind of want to protect your ankle from those dogs. Like maybe they're playing and they're not really paying attention, or some kids that are like playing. You're going to try and like protect that ankle so it doesn't get more injured. So I'm seeing that there's been layers of protection. Like you've been needing to keep this protection around you because you've actually been healing. And that's been good. Like Spirit's saying that's what you need. You actually needed that because you don't want things to get re-injured, or you don't want something to come in and crash and you know, like on this healing bone, right? You need that bone to be like stable and have a chance. So I'm seeing you've had some kind of protective barrier around you, like almost like a hard shell to keep energy out so that you could heal something that was like soft and vulnerable on the inside. But you're actually moving out of that era, which is really, really, really written here in your cards with the North Node. You are moving on from a period in your life where things have been quite vulnerable. And like I said, you've had to have some protection around you. And you're moving into a time where you're going to feel way more chill with this calm card. You're going to be chill. You're going to be like, you know what? I'm all good. And I see actually a lot of you are opening to love and relationships as a result of this glow up with this Juno partnership. Many of you, this glow up is actually going to be opening to love, finding love again in your life, really opening to love, feeling that you can receive love now because you have healed something. Like I said, you're moving from a time where you had to be protective. You know, you can't really open to love and relationships if you're healing a broken heart, right? We have to heal first and then we can open to a new cycle. There's just a time and a place for everything. So you're moving from some time where you've been vulnerable and you've been protecting something that's been healing, but it's coming to an end. You're healing that now and you're ready to step into a new karmic destiny where your karma is going to look really different. The way that things manifest will look very different for you. And you're heading into a time where things feel a lot more calm. You're not so like hyper vigilant or trying to protect yourself so much. You're not so much thinking, oh, what if I have this thing? What if I get hurt? What if this person, I can't trust this person? Wow. So your glow up, actually, as I look at these cards, you are coming into such a social time with this Gemini and this Juno cards. Wow. Like you're going to be so open to love in all forms, friendship. Like you're going to be opening to just connection in every part of your life. You're going to be feeling this like warmth of connection, the enrichment of having human connection and heartfelt connection. This is a huge heart opening as well, like a healing of the heart, really opening your heart to love and to life and to socializing, to sharing your voice as well. This is very much a freedom in the throat chakra. I see many of you may have had a vow of silence in one of your past lives or even in this lifetime. If you promise to keep a secret for yourself or for someone else, these kinds of things can really impact our actual throat chakra if it's not in alignment, if it's, you know, if it doesn't feel right and we're kind of making a vow for someone else, you know. So yeah, keep in mind that that could be playing out. But I'm seeing like, again, a reclaiming of your voice. You are coming back into your power with your voice. You are really claiming your karmic destiny to do with your voice. You might be really here to share your voice. Actually, musically, it could be sound healing, channeling, really like direct download from spirit, getting insights, getting images, writing. It could be speaking, public speaking, social media speaking. I don't know, something to do with your voice though. It's coming on, it's like becoming unstuck. Like there's a wildness that's coming, a freedom that's coming through your throat chakra, where I'm feeling like you've come from a past where there was something that has been restricted in your throat, where you haven't been able to maybe fully express yourself around certain people, or you haven't found the right people. With this Gemini card, part of your glow up is you're finding your people. You're going to find a community. You're going to find soul family, meet a soulmate. Many of you, this is opening your heart to love, like real romantic love, finding your soulmate, finding that partner, marriage, that person who you are really in that union with in this life, and feeling so grounded with this person, feeling so calm with this person. That's how I feel like you're going to know. Spirit wants me to tell you how you're going to know if someone's a soulmate relationship. Yes, there will be excitement and things like this, but there will first and foremost be a deep sense of grounding, okay? When you meet a soulmate or a twin flame or a person who is like your soul family, you will feel locked in and grounded and calm in a way that you have like no control over, okay? That's what I'm seeing for how you're coded. is like you might often feel a bit anxious around people, especially with some wounding you might have experienced, in relationships in your past. So you might feel a bit on edge around people, or you might not really open up to people or really speak your mind that much in your relationships and stuff. But when you meet your soul family, when you meet your twin flame soulmate person, you will feel instantly at ease. You will feel like you can 100% express yourself around them, that you don't have to hold anything back. You'll feel like the version of yourself that you've actually always been, but no one has really been able to hold space for before. So that's what I'm seeing, is like a whole bunch of space being held for you in relationships so that you can really have these quality relationships that are truly reciprocal, that you're so enjoying and loving being a part of. And it's because you've healed your heart enough that you can open to true love and relationships now. Because otherwise you would have just been in that same cycle of attracting in maybe narcissistic relationships or people who were not able to give and receive equally, maybe someone who's always in crisis mode. They're always having a crisis in their life and you're always going there to rescue them. Maybe you're stuck in these kinds of dynamics with people, something like this. Spirit's saying you're actually reaching this critical point of like manifestation where you have finished with those kinds of cycles with a relationship because you've healed enough. So your healed heart can manifest true love. That's what I'm seeing. So a lot of you have actually been getting the signs about love and relationships coming in. You've been seeing signs, like maybe you've been manifesting better quality interactions, or I don't know, you've been seeing some kind of signs I'm seeing for a lot of you that actually your relationships are improving, or like the quality of people that you're manifesting day to day, the quality of people seems better, or you're seeing like, yeah, you know what, I'm getting closer to manifesting my soul family or my soulmate. I'm also seeing part of this healing is coming into confidence. It's coming into power with your voice, like really coming into power with your voice, having an opinion, being okay socially. Like this is really healing any kind of social anxiety that you may have had, because when you have trauma within relationships, it can be really, really hard to not feel really triggered by any kind of relationship or interactions. That's part of like kind of a complex kind of trauma response that can occur. So really when we heal, a lot of healing occurs through our relationships because a lot of our trauma and wounding occurs through our relationships. So that's what I'm seeing, is that there may have been this feeling where you couldn't open up to people, you couldn't find the right people, you kept attracting narcissists or experiences that were wounding to you. And now it's like your karma is changing. The thing that you are manifesting is changing. It's like you're clearing your Akashic records. That's what you're doing. You're clearing your Akashic records, you're rewriting it. And you're like, you know what, I'm clearing old contracts, or I'm clearing old vows or scripts that I don't need to live by anymore. And you're rewriting a new version of life. And with that North Node, like you are about to experience things that you have not experienced before, okay? I don't think you've experienced this level of ease in relationships, this level of flow socially, like really enjoying having a social life, really enjoying interacting with people, maybe finding people of like mind or collaborators that you can share artistically. You could collaborate. You could actually be collaborating on projects with people and really enjoying that. You could be meeting soul family and having activations of destiny. You could be going into partnership, meeting your true love, your twin flame, your soulmate. And like I said, when that person comes in, it's just like instant recognition and through the calm feeling, it takes over your body. You feel so calm. You feel so relaxed. You feel so grounded. You feel so at peace, and you feel so authentic. Like you are just who you are. And you know that when you're around this person, when you're in the light of this person's love, you feel like you're exactly who you are and who you've always been meant to be. All right, group 3, that's really all that we have time for your glow up reading, but I am sending you so much love and light. Like I said, if you want to check out more of my work, I recommend that Akashic Record Clearing package that I have on my website. It's actually really good value because you get a clearing ritual, you get an affirmation tape, the light language, and I also have something you can read out as well, do your own ritual and participate with it yourself. So like I said, I'll link it down below. You can read more about it. And I'm just sending you all so much love and light. I'll see you in a new video soon, okay? Bye.